C.J. Stroud and the 0-2 Houston Texans head out to Duval County to take on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Jacksonville is coming off of a really disappointing loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, a game that their fans are very mad about. The game before that against Carolina cannot start off the season any better, winning the home opener against the Carolina Panthers. Now, for the Houston Texans, and starting off 0-2. It doesn't matter if you lost to a good team in Los Angeles or a good team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These are out-of-conference games, and you've got all of these conference games to play, like the Jags in your division. Those are the ones that truly matter. It just hurts, though, to see your offense struggle throughout the entire day against Los Angeles, that Stroud never was able to establish rhythm, that the offensive line just did not hold up enough for him. We heard all the talk in the offseason about Higgins and Noel. Noel really has only made the biggest impact on special teams. He has been electric and unbelievable, but you're up 5 points after not getting the 2-point conversion. Stadium's going nuts, and what does Baker Mayfield do? Picks up, I believe, that 4th and 10, scrambles for the first down, and then they go right down the field, big completion to Bucky Irving, and they give up the rushing touchdown. Houston falls to 0-2 on the season. Now, I will have to say this, teams that are 0-2, statistically speaking, only have about an 11% chance to make the playoffs. You can throw that out the window right now when talking about the Houston Texans, because most of those 0-2 teams are not built on defense the way Houston is. Will Anderson Jr., clearly one of the best young defensive players in football. On the other side, Danielle Hunter, an absolute monster. The secondary with Lassiter, Derek Stingley, thought that they held up pretty well in coverage throughout the day. I love Kalen Bullock. I got to see him play a couple of times in college when he was at USC. Love his range as a backer. Azeez Al-Shaair, I have just enjoyed. I know he was a bit banged up in that last game. But on the other side of things for Jacksonville, you're hearing me talk about all those guys, and you're like, we got Josh Hines-Allen. We got the former number 1 overall pick, Trayvon Walker. We've got Travis Hunter, the do-it-all talent. But I'll say this about Travis. We need to see something out of you. I mean, this kid is more talented than arguably anybody to ever play the sport, and his ability to go both ways. He seemingly doesn't even have a heart. There's not even a cardiac rhythm happening for this guy. I don't know the correct way to say it. I'm not a poet. But it doesn't seem like this guy ever gets tired, but it doesn't matter when you're going up against bigger, stronger, faster guys than you are used to. I believe that it will take truly a full season, maybe 2, for him to adjust and put on more weight and be fully acquainted with the National Football League and the difference between the athletes compared to the way they were in college. But that does not mean he cannot completely change games. Nico Collins, big, physical wide receiver. Jaden Higgins, exact type of thing. It's almost unfair. I've talked about this before, that you have Higgins and Nico Collins on the same squad now. Depending on the number of snaps that he's out there, the GM's talking about we're wanting to use him as a chess piece throughout the season. We drafted him. We traded a future first-round pick for him because we believe he can do this successfully. Let's talk about another guy for Jacksonville that disappointed. Brian Thomas, one of the more effective players. This kid was a monster at LSU for a couple of seasons. He was such a dynamic player, had a great season for the Jags last year as a rookie. He's got to be better. We have to secure the football. Through 2 games, we have not seen him do at a high enough level, simply put. Through a couple of games, Brian Thomas has 60 yards. Travis Hunter has 55. There were those that were saying this is going to be a top 5 duo in football for wide receiver. Like, I don't doubt it. These guys have the wheels and the talent. They are fast, that they can run, that they have talent to be able to do it. Just needs to happen. And they're matched up, where I'm concerned, is with Kamari Lassiter and with Derek Stingley, that they can line up. They can go one-on-one, man-on-man, mano-a-mano, and the better player just makes a play. That's what fires me up about calls like that one we saw on Travis Hunter in that game. Let these guys play. Sometimes I know maybe there's a little tug. Maybe there's a grab. but let them play. Football is a physical sport. Sometimes the guys just make a play when it comes down to it. Didn't like the call there. I understand it, but sometimes you just have to disagree with the nature of the game. Let's talk about the Houston Texans and their run game. It's not good enough. No, you don't have Joe Mixon. You have to find ways to get Chubb going. I mean, Jake Chubb looked like he was running the football decently well. Woody Marks only had 3 touches, but when he did touch the ball, he looked pretty explosive. Had only 3 touches, but his 1 reception, he went for 37 yards. If it's not working for Chubb, get Woody Marks going. I don't get early on in the season what Houston's really been trying to do. I get that these are really good defenses that they have faced, but week 1 against the Rams, it didn't look like they were in sync as in offense yet. That CJ Stroud hasn't looked confident in the pocket. He hasn't been as accurate as we are accustomed to seeing. Now, the first drive of the game against Tampa, that throw, as good as you can throw it. Nico Collins, a catch as good as you can catch the football. But that was like the last aggressive real shot that we saw them hit in the game, and that was the first possession. They go down 7-0. You're like, all right, here we go. We're excited, fired up about this one, and then the offense just stalls. You could feel the frustration in the crowd throughout the entire night at NRG Stadium, the home opener. Everybody's fired up. But for this one, sometimes teams play a little bit looser when they're on the road because of the intensity, and when you're playing at home in front of your fans, they can get a little edgy. I believe that Houston going on the road here, although it's not ideal, and this one's like apparently about expected to be really close, like almost to the point where people think Jacksonville is going to win. I've seen enough from Trevor Lawrence through the first couple of games this year that I don't see the improvement. People have said that they have a couple of picks last week, quarterback rating of 80, 42 times throwing it. The run game's been pretty good, right? Ran it for 5 times. They need to establish that more, get him going a bit more in the backfield, tooting the kid out of Virginia Tech, like his speed and ETN, of course. But Trevor Lawrence, disappointing. And a lot of that has to do, and I'll put it on not just Trevor, but on the wide receivers. Hunter, Brian Thomas, you guys got to help out your quarterback. I was going to say young quarterback, but he's not a young quarterback anymore. He's been in the league long enough, and he's making big-time money. He's not making young kid money. Week 1, they won big, but it didn't really matter. They could have had you probably playing quarterback and beaten that Carolina team that looked terrible in week 1. Talk about the situation you'd much rather be in if you're Jacksonville or Houston than Carolina, sending all that capital to Chicago, and then Bryce Young and what he's looked like beginning of the 3rd year, expected to take the steps. So think about perspective sometimes when it's intense. If you're a Houston fan and you're 0-2, take that deep breath. CJ Stroud's a darn baller. You've got a good defense. You have weapons. This is a good football team for Houston, and I know it might sound crazy, but I believe Houston makes a run to the AFC Championship game. You're going to like that, but I have them losing to Baltimore still. So you're going to like part of that, dislike part of it. But at 0-2, I almost think that Houston fans would take it in the sense of the progression. This team is headed in the right direction. Now for Jacksonville, it's been seemingly just this up and down roller coaster from a range of like 5 to 7 in the excitement scale since they had that run and they had that crazy comeback against the Chargers in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago at home. Unbelievable, 27 points. And then the Chiefs the next week, kind of flat. I get it. We need to see that these quarterbacks can sit in the pocket and deliver the football accurately down the field. You have the young, you've got the new head coach there in Jacksonville taking time to get this thing right. Think about the impact. Let's get these Jaguars motivated for a home win. I don't have a rooting interest in this one, but how about Jacksonville? You're 1-1, you have a chance to be 2-1 and moving the team that's won this division the last couple years to 0-3 on the season and 0-1 in the conference, 0-1 in the division. Think about how much of a gut punch that would be to the Houston Texans. a hole they could dig out of, but it will not be easy if they drop to 0-3. It's not impossible. This is the NFL where we have great talent. Think about, we've got 2 first-round pick, first overall players in Trevor Lawrence and Trayvon Walker, second overall pick in Travis Hunter. There is so much talent on this Jaguar team. They can put it together, right? CJ Stroud, he's a great quarterback, but if Allen has one of those days, if Trayvon Walker turns into the guy we thought he would be, that Agent Hutchinson has shown in his career so far, maybe, yeah, light some edge under the guy's butt. In me saying that Aiden Hutchinson has looked better so far in his career, I believe you could probably say the same thing. I'm sure that you can make that argument. Even if you're a Jaguar fan, you probably love your guy in Trayvon Walker. I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I'm just telling you of what we have seen so far on the year. We need more production out of those 2 edge guys. So I have a final score, though, for this game. I do have faith that Houston will have a big bounce back in a major way and find a way to win this game going away. All right, I believe that Houston has enough to win this game 24-14. Their defense with Will Anderson and Hunter putting enough pressure on Trevor Lawrence and stopping that run, committing to it, and forcing Trevor to beat him from the pocket. And with their sticky coverage in the secondary, don't see them being able to do it. I have the Texans winning this game by 2 scores, 24-14. They're able to keep CJ Stroud upright, keep the weapons, balance a little bit of the run, getting Woody Marks more touches, and Nick Chubb a few more, and winning this game handedly. Simply put, I believe that D-line is great. The Texans still have a great defense, and that CJ Stroud gets some confidence. Just let me know down below in the comments what you think. Who wins this game? Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know down below what you think. I appreciate you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more football videos in the future. We're so fired up. Football is back. Just because it's week 3, you're in the rhythm of this thing. Don't lose the sight that a couple of weeks ago we didn't have football. We have it, so let's enjoy it. And of course, please, if you feel like coming back, checking out the channel, we make football videos every single day. Happy to have you around here, just looking to build this positive and fun football community of football fans looking to learn a little bit more and have some fun talking and watching the game that we all love. So I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder, hi everybody, I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.